Hello and welcome once again to the Hellraiser blog. Please give us a like or better still a subscribe. Today I'm going to do a quick blog on, you may well have seen, it's all over the internet, Saul Canelo Alvarez was found to have traces of Clenbuterol in his system. Clenbuterol, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's not actually a steroid, it's a drug that is banned and it is deemed to be a performance enhancing drug. It's a substance used to reduce fat percentages, increase body mass, muscle mass and energy by reducing muscle breakdown. So from that description I'd say it sounds like it's pretty helpful. If you're preparing for a big fight and you want to be as high level as you can, that's going to help you get there a little bit quicker. And that's what Canelo Alvarez is, he's accused of having traces of this in his system. I mean, it's been well documented that Mexico has a big problem with this drug. There's been a number of cases actually where athletes have been sort of failing dope tests and they've sort of given the explanation, well, I ate beef, which is not banned. I think it was Eric Morales tested positive when he was boxing Danny Garcia. There was also a situation where 5 Mexican footballers were found to have traces of the drug in their system. And this I find really bizarre, that of the 5, 4 of them gave him receipts. Like, I bought this meat in the supermarket, and on the basis that they gave in these receipts, they were actually acquitted. They were found okay. Because then surely you'd think, well, if you want to take this performance enhancing drug, all you've got to do is go to the supermarket, get some receipts from beef, take your drugs. If you get found out, there's my receipt, not me, not guilty. Of the 5 footballers, 4 gave in these receipts. 1 was found to, I think, give in falsified receipts, and he got a 4-year ban. So it's quite serious. I mean, imagine Canelo gets a 4-year ban off the back of this. That would be devastating to his career. It would be devastating to boxing generally, because Canelo is at the top of the game. He is an industry in himself, and it's a big problem. I mean, Kevin Ioli, who I follow him quite a lot on Yahoo Sports, has been quoted as saying that there was some research done in Mexico where 58 out of 200 slaughterhouses were found to be contaminated. So that's over 25% of the slaughterhouses in Mexico are apparently contaminated with this Clenbuterol. My advice to any athlete, any boxer going out there, any athlete going out there, do not touch the beef with a barge pole. Don't go anywhere near it, because I mean, it's all very well these guys giving explanations as to, you know, oh, we ate contaminated meat, but I mean, in the UK we have the WADA system, and if, I mean, my understanding of it is, if the drug is found in your system, you're guilty. That's it. It doesn't matter how you took it, or I think there is an appeals process, but my experience of it is no matter what the athlete says, he's guilty. He gets a reprimand, and it's inconceivable. It's just inconceivable that Canelo would not be aware of that. He'd absolutely be aware of it, and he pays people around him very good money, I would imagine, to make sure that he's kept up to date with it. It is harsh because imagine you just have one. You know, you go for dinner somewhere and they've got some tacos or something. You eat some. That's it. You contaminated yourself. That is harsh, but look, for boxing to survive, for it to work as an industry, this has to be taken care of. We can't have this situation coming, because it makes a mockery of it. And I mean, what baffles me is that, I mean, it's possible to take stuff. There are people who are experts in this field, if you like, who have made it very clear to me that it is possible to take performance enhancing drugs, and because as I understand it, the system we have in the UK especially, it's not 365 days a year, I think it's when you're in preparation for a contest. But like I say, there's people that have told me, look, you can take these drugs before you start preparing, before you go into your training camp. You can take these drugs. They'll be out of your system in time for when you go into training camp. So even if they turn up on day one and test you, you won't get found with it because the traces have all left your body by then. But you still benefit from the impact that it's had on your body, and that can last several months. So you could take your drugs, wait for them to be out of your system, then go into training camp, train, perform on the night, benefit from the advantages, and then not be actually able to be found guilty of anything. So the people that are at the top, who really have the best experts, who can afford, like the elite level guys, they can probably go and take advantage of that system. And maybe the minions, the guys that are more sort of lower down the scale, who haven't got the financial resources to get the top medical guys, well, they're more likely to get caught and get found out. It's not quite right. You know, look, the boxing as an industry, it's evolving, and hopefully they get on top of this, because it really impacts negatively, not just on Canelo, and I'm sure he's absolutely devastated with this, and I'm sure he'll do his utmost to sort of go through the follow-up tests that they can have. But I mean, it just raises a number of problems with the event. First, I mean, what happens if GGG sends him a lawyer's letter? Well, I mean, presumably in their contract they'll have clauses for performance-enhancing sort of breaches. But I mean, it jeopardises the whole event. That's what it does. It jeopardises, and in fact, it jeopardises the whole sport, because we, as a sport, we've got to be seen to be fair. We can't be having, you know, this sort of thing going on, and we need some clarity. And to be able to say, oh, well, I ate some meat in Mexico, therefore, much as I'd like to believe that, and I'm not saying necessarily that I don't believe it, I'm completely not saying that I think he's done anything wrong. It's just that he's left himself, and like earlier I googled his name, I put Canelo into Google. The first thing that came, in fact, all the first articles that came up were all to do with performance enhancing. So this guy, performance enhancing drugs. So this guy, he's worked all his life to get into this situation. He's boxed from a young age. I mean, he's a really courageous, gutsy fighter, high-level guy. He must have worked very, very hard to get there, and now he's jeopardised it all by eating supposedly contaminated meat. I mean, it's crazy. It's just completely... and I mean, like I say, Canelo in himself is a multi-million-pound dollar industry, and to have jeopardised it all by eating meat in Mexico that we actually know there is problems with, or highly likely to be contaminated with this Clenbuterol, I mean, it just does not add up. It's completely crazy. I don't understand how he's done that. And anyway, that's my thoughts for today. So guys, let me know what you think of the whole thing. I'm very interested, because it's important to me to know how people actually perceive this whole situation, because I want to be promoting events, you know, where we're ready for every eventuality. And to me, this strikes me as something really unsatisfactory, the way that it's being done. And even if now the WBC or whoever is going to administer that fine, if they come back and say, we found that actually it was the meat, it still casts a big shadow over everyone involved, not just in the fight but in the whole of boxing. You know, I think UFC has a doping system where it's every day of the year, any hour of the day, they can come and see you and they can test you. Whereas in boxing, it's only while you're in training, as I understand it. Maybe that's something to consider. Anyway, guys, please let me know your thoughts. I'm really interested to know, and let's see if we can shed some light on what people are thinking about this. Cheers very much, guys. Give us a subscribe or a like if you enjoyed the blog. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.